The further I progress along the spiritual path, the more I see signposts and notes cast to the side of the path by the person I will become. Now, who we will become is very much beyond time. Who we will become as a person, as a soul, has more to do with something that we're always meant to become than what we are now. This is a single point in time. And the soul is beyond time. It's beyond space, it's beyond finality, it's beyond our limited understanding of infinity. And the further we get towards ourself, towards our soul, towards uniting our ego, burning it in the fire of the soul, and truly becoming one with God, ultimately. The closer we get to that, the greater our understanding of where we've been and who we are now. Now, who I am now is still finite. It is still limited. But as I get closer to who I'm supposed to be, who I'm going to be, the more that I see the necessity of the different parts of who I am now. Now, this might seem very complicated and very obtuse, but I'll give you an example. The different stories that I like to read are stories of chaos and order. I love these fluctuating ideas. There's not a lot in between that really catches my eye, but stories of order and chaos, these two extremes, really draw me to either whether it be fiction or spirituality. Now, when it comes to spirituality, we're talking about the chaos of occult doctrine that deals with either demons or these ancient kings of hell or a different occult lore that's connected with the forces of chaos. And then we have on the opposite side, which is the majority of my interest, so the chaotic side does exist in me, the interest for that. But the side that I have far more books on and have done far more research on and have actualized in my own spiritual path is the side of order, of finding who you truly are past the ego, past your desires, past your anger, past your fears, your craving, aversion, past all that, who you truly are. And that's how I found my home in Hinduism. But the spiritual texts that I'm talking about of order are of ordering yourself, not giving it up to somebody else, not wanting to be a god that can satisfy every desire but are still bound by those desires, but rather becoming closer to God. But you can even say a god, but one that is not bound by the thick ropes of desire, fear, aversion, craving, ignorance, ultimately. That is true godhood. Some being that is not bound by the materialistic limitations of I guess you could say, lower or demonic god. Now I'm using a lot of different occult ideas, if not the exact terms, that are very foreign to most people's vocabulary, but I will proceed accordingly. When we're talking about the kings of hell, the different dimensions of hell, the different spheres, and the power that can be gained by these kings or these blighted lords, whatever section of the abyss we're talking about, they're always bound by what they want materially, by the anger that they feel, by the hate that they feel, by the even fear that they dread this unity and compassion and mercy. They disdain mercy because they are afraid that somebody will be merciful to them and break their idea of power, and break their idea mentally and in reality of the power they try to achieve beyond compassion. Evil people, evil beings can fear mercy just as much as they deserve mercy. And even the most evil of us deserve a certain level of mercy, and that is a blow upon the ego of an evil being in and of itself. But back to spirituality, the path forward, not the path down, but the path forward. I'm using different dimensions here, but you get the idea. When it comes to the path forward, it's a long journey on our way towards the unity that we once were. The unity that was torn asunder when we made a choice as united souls. I won't get into that. But it's a long journey. It has to do with breaking down our karmic decisions through many lifetimes, tearing them apart, experiencing the punishment, and basically taking advantage of what we learned and moving forward, or not even experiencing the punishment, and rather learning just from the world. And if we learn the lesson, then we don't have to experience the punishment for whatever we did in a past life or this one. So if we learn and we move forward, we don't have to be bound by karma. If we choose to relinquish our ego, relinquish our desire, relinquish our anger, relinquish our fear, and towards the unity of oneness that all things come from, that all things will return to, God, then karma cannot touch us. Chaos and order are subjects of vast interest in the occult, spirituality, religion, what have you, in magic, in different spellcraft, in different servitor creation, all kinds of transdimensional and metaphysical realities as segments of reality and practices with reality. But what I am driven to always, even through my understandings and learning about the chaotic forces and dimensions, and of course through my learnings of the gods of order, of peace and harmony and mercy and light, I am driven more towards myself through learning from both sides of this. And, embracing order because I love order, and relinquishing chaos, destroying the chaos within. I move forward and I work towards who I was always meant to be. And I urge you to work towards who you are meant to be by reading whatever texts you need in order to strengthen your spiritual path, your practice of it, and along it. I encourage you to search throughout all the religions, all the different spiritual practices, all the different methods of divination and even spellcraft and magic, and just work your way towards that unity through learning about everything on either side of the path, I guess you could say, on the side of chaos and order, but just learning from the what chaos is, not necessarily practicing it. Because learning of chaos, I feel, is very important. A lot of people say, okay, once you reach a certain point, you'll understand it anyway. Why go towards it? And that's a very valid point. You don't have to learn of chaos in order to embrace the order of moving towards unity and oneness. But it's been a little bit of a, I guess you could say, guilty pleasure of mine to learn about things that are before my time, before I reach the appropriate level of soul orderliness that is required to understand every chaotic force below that on the other side of the path. But whatever you do, just move forward along the path towards oneness with God and relinquish all that which holds you back. So thank you very much for watching. I hope this has been interesting to you. If you have any questions, shoot them down in the comment section below. If you like this video at all, you found any of it interesting, hit that thumbs up down there. And I will see you in the future.